Hi everybody. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you probably know who I am and know what I'm about to do. I am Finalflame. This is the Superior Sonic 2. Don't at me if you don't agree. Let's just go ahead and dive right in. You've seen this before in the past, I'm sure. Probably by nobody other than me. Not many people run this game. Let's go ahead and get it started in 3, 2, 1, go. So, first off, I am playing this on a Wii U. This was available on the Wii VC. Unfortunately, that's no longer around, but this is the version I really enjoy playing. We do not have a spin dash in this game. It has not been created as of yet. That won't make an appearance until the inferior Sonic 2, Sonic 2 Genesis. So you're going to see a lot of this roll jumping, a lot of using slopes to gain speed. A lot of this unfortunate score countdown. Sorry, you're going to have a lot of that. Now, one thing I can do is I can actually, after hitting the signpost, I'm able to pause the game, unpause, and the timer will keep going, so I can get a lower time bonus. But this game is timed in in-game time, so we don't want to do that. If I was playing the Game Gear version, wouldn't have to worry about that. Normally, I play the Game Gear version of this game, but I do like changing it up once in a while. So while we are doing Beat the Game, for safety reasons, I am going to grab the First Pass Emerald up here. The reason I'm going to grab it is A, it's out in the open, it's easy to grab. Right there you might have noticed I apparently did not get a roll jump. My jump was not as big as it normally would be. You'll see that more later, I'm sure. But the Emeralds all grant continues. Now, hopefully, I don't need a continue, but it's useful to have just in case. Yeah, practice has been kind of up and down lately. Nobody wants to see a game over. The infamous zone from this game, Underground 3. If you've played this on Game Gear or watched the Game Gear version, this is a very difficult, not difficult zone, but a very difficult boss. It is the Antlion. It's infamous for just being horrible, especially on Game Gear with the screen crunch, variable ball bounce height. That's the system, it's kind of a joke. It's, yeah, I'm never gonna say anything's free, but it's much easier than if you're on Game Gear. The balls all have the same bounce height. I just stand in place and jump over them. I don't have to worry about moving. You can have anywhere from 6 to 7 balls. It's based on the time you get to the boss. In this version, I always get 6, but I have seen other people that get 7. So we're just chilling. Hi, Robotnik. Yes, Robotnik did save us from the lava. People always question why on earth would he do that? And to my response, it's, you know, if you've played the Game Gear version, you've seen that boss, you have a better chance of surviving the lava than that Antlion. But not for us. We're good. And on to Sky High Zone. So if you got here, like me when I was younger, this was kind of the next roadblock. Sonic, can you not die early in the game, please? Thank you. Eating inputs, they're a great thing, aren't they? Yeah, if you got here, you might have encountered the hang glider and struggled with that. I know I did because, well, I didn't read the manual, and apparently it tells you in the manual how to handle it. We're going to try and skip the hang glider here. You have about 2 frames to do it. Didn't quite work, but that's fine. That's a good backup. I could just roll jump off of that. You have about a 2-frame window you can jump over that hang glider without grabbing it, and while making it across to the edge. What you can do, it actually doesn't lose a lot of time to use a hang glider. You just have to tap left. It's not difficult. You just need to know about it, and a lot of people don't know about that, including myself for the longest time. Act 2, don't blink or you'll miss it. Very different setting than Act 1. High Emerald, we're not getting you. But we are going to jump over that hang glider, and unfortunately did not get the clip into there. A tight window to get that. Nice quick stage. 15 seconds. You can get a bit lower if I'd made it to that ledge. And another long time bonus. Coming up to Act 3, this is, in this version, the first boss that really is a challenge. It's the Robo Bird. It's a multi-phase boss, and it's very easy to just walk into a bird and die, or get hit by a projectile and die. We're hoping we don't see that today. Don't fall, those are bottomless pits, and here we go. Not quite how I wanted that to go. Okay, actually not bad. So you can get all those 4 eggs in one shot. I tend to play it safe and avoid doing that. The reason being is I'd rather be on the right side of the screen when that bird comes out, just to make things a little easier and less dangerous. Alright, we are through the first third of the game already, and a good chunk of the hard part. Now we can kind of just chill to what every Sonic game needs, a water level. We have Aqua Lake. First stage, pretty short. We're going to have a mechanic here where we just bounce along the top of the water because we have enough speed. We're halfway through the stage. I'm going to roll down here and time it just right. Then I'm going to do a quick left, right, there, and that gets me across all the way to the end. If you go to the top right, you're going to encounter, I believe, an extra life, and then the end of the screen. You actually won't beat the level. You do have to go down to the bottom. So, while that does look like swag, that is also the fastest way through that level. There's a spike pit down there, there's a spring that'll try and throw you in the spike pit. From what I can tell, spikes in this game always try and force you to the left. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm starting to think it is. And if you go left, there's so much lag going on. It's just difficult to get back over. So yes, I just went through a floor that's not a glitch as intended. I'm going to perfectly time a right press there, avoid that wall, bounce on that enemy. That just saved about 20 seconds of grabbing the invincibility box, because A, it's water level, there's a lot of lag, and B, invincibility gives you a lot of lag. Although we will be utilizing one later on in the stage, where it doesn't cost me much time, fortunately. Fortunately, there's a very good visual cue for when to make that right hold. So it's pretty simple to do. Much more difficult in Game Gear, you have to go with an audio cue. I am controlling this bubble with up, down, left, right. You can speed up, you can slow down. If you touch a wall, it will burst. I gotta take it up to the lag highway. If you're wondering why I call it that, well, you can see. And you can probably hear me trying to get jumps. It's difficult. Unfortunately, you can't use that enemy to get up to the spring. It's close. I've tried, never made it work. Not clicking the spring, so we're going to jump, take it up here. High speed shoes, by speed shoes, you are absolutely pointless because we're here at the end of the level. If you ever want to play this game, remember that fake wall I just went through. Ooh, a tail signpost. You don't see that too often. Because that fake wall saves you so much time. If you do not know about that and you go down, I am so sorry. It's a nightmare to finish the stage through there. Like, with as long as it took for us to get there, if for some reason I died and had to do the stage, or if I had fallen down, rather, I'd be better off dying and redoing the stage. Alright, so this boss I'm kind of manipulating here. I don't know how to best explain. If you just stand there, or you do a big jump, he will do this little phase where he just kind of taunts you, moves towards you, wants to kill you. But I'm getting him through that much more quickly by doing a small jump. Did not time that right. That's unfortunate. By doing a small jump and standing next to him. So that saves a bunch of time. You know, we're already halfway through. Stay hydrated. Also, I didn't mention it. On this time countdown, I am holding a button to speed it up. If I did not, we'd be there for even longer, and nobody here wants that. So we didn't start with Green Hills, but we're here, we're in Green Hills. If you made it here, congratulations, have some extra lives. There's 1, there's 2. You can grab rings and get an extra life for 100 rings. There's a few other extra lives in here, including one right there. And there's one below us as well. So yeah, if you get here and need some lives, this game's got you covered. Same with Green Hills too. So I'm going to do a sequence of jumps here at the start that should gain me a lot of speed off the very top of this hill. It'll be a noticeable amount. Unfortunately, did not get that. That's okay. It does cost us a little bit of time here. We're not going to have any crazy amount of speed here. We're also not going to grab that extra life as a result. That was a little awkward. Coming up to the emerald in this stage, which we are going to wave to as we pass it right above us there. Another one is pretty easy to grab. You can also see that extra life below me. Yeah, lots of continues, lots of extra lives. And we might need them here in this stage. This stage looks dangerous, and to a point it is. I kind of divide it into thirds. The first third's a little bit dangerous. The second third is, despite looking like the worst, is probably the safest part of the stage if you know what you're doing. I shouldn't have held left there. That's a spike. Spikes kill you. This stage is full of springs and spikes. That's okay. That's the kind of start I wanted right there. Alright, so coming up here, everything you don't see is a bottomless pit. And with the exception of a small part there, you just hold right to get across it. A lot of people don't know that and struggle. It's really not that dangerous. Unlike this boss. So I'm hoping for good RNG, and so far it has not happened. Depending on the pattern he gives, I can get either 1 or 2 hits in per cycle, as well as depending on which side of the screen he's on. That wasn't terrible, not the greatest start, but that could definitely have been a lot worse. I'm happy to make it through that stage with just 1 death. And I wish the death was on the boss, but, you know, it happens. And on to Gimmick Mountain. And the flywheels, the pinwheels, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to try and skip as many as I can. You know what? Let me just take that one for safety. Alright, so coming up, I am going to grab invincibility. It's not necessarily required to do what I'm about to do, but it does make it a lot more safe. So I want to make sure I don't get too many inputs here because I do not want to be slowed down. I'm going to do a turnaround here. Oh, that's bad. Okay, well, we're doing this casually. Maybe. What the heck was that? Alright, couldn't tell you the last time I went this way, but we're going this way because I don't feel like dying. So what I tried to do was take that invincibility around to the bottom left, so we can skip doing this climb on the right side that I honestly have not done in years, and take this minecart all the way down here. The reason you want that invincibility is to get through this long spike pit. It is possible to get through it without the invincibility, just by damage boosting there. Oh, let's get the sign. It is an extremely tight window. I don't personally recommend it to people playing this game or trying to speedrun it. It saves maybe 2 seconds over the invincibility, but if you're doing the invincibility, you need to do it right. Fortunately, it didn't quite happen there. It's all good. And this spike pit, I'm used to just taking damage in. That's a pain to get across. Even if you do it right, you'll get dropped inputs. I know I've said that a few times in this game. So I want to try and avoid these bombs as much as possible. There's going to be multiple in our path. You do not want to get knocked down to the bottom of the stage. It's not death, it just is a major time loss. Okay, I avoided that one. Sonic, you need to roll. Okay, not a terrible gimmick 2. Gimmick 3 is, for all intents and purposes, it's an auto-scroller. We're going to be standing on platforms, taking us to the boss. Lots of spikes around. Not really much we can do here. So if y'all need to, I'd say take 30 seconds, go stretch. Or, once again, stay hydrated, as I'm about to do once I get onto this platform. Be careful right here. Those spikes will kill you. That platform will kill you if you stay on it. Unfortunately, just not much you could do to speed this up. Maybe very minor things, like jumping a bit earlier there. And here we are at the boss. So I need to dodge the spikes on his back, I need to dodge these falling rocks. If I hit him quick enough, you won't have the falling rocks, but you do run the risk of jumping on him too early and getting hit by the spikes. So you kind of want to balance that. You do want to jump on him quickly, but safely. This boss is definitely a little bit on the dangerous side. There's also ways to speed it up, but as mentioned, it's dangerous. So I tend to just do this. It's a little bit safer. Usually I get a couple quicker jumps in to skip the rocks. Didn't this time, but I'm fine with that because we are alive. And we are off to the final stage. We are off to Scrambled Egg Zone. Something about early Sonic games and eggs. I can't understand why. But really good music here. This stage is one of the longer ones. You have a lot of tubes. We have some interesting speed mechanics. You may have noticed it there, and I'll bring it up again coming up. If you roll into those tubes, as I am here, coming out of this tube, I actually will maintain a high momentum. Going uphill, I won't actually lose any of my momentum. It's both useful and interesting to look at. Here's our first maze of the stage. And I'm gonna do a little trick coming up. After not this tube, but the following, I'm going to hold left coming out of this tube. You see the spike pit above me? So we're going to land in it, take a damage boost, go back to the right, and land on this platform. This platform is just moving to the right. Normally, you'd have to wait a while for it to come to the left, but doing that forces it to go left much earlier than usual. Fortunately, it's consistent to do in this version. In the Game Gear version, I have yet to figure out why it doesn't work consistently. One day I'll know. But we're not worried about Game Gear today. Yeah. I have some lives. I'm going to try something here. I'm probably going to regret. And potentially take a game over. Well, I'll take an intentional death there. I'm going to try and take a damage boost into this pipe. I was debating whether or not I wanted to go for this. It only saves a couple seconds, what I'm trying to do. But it looks really cool. I get it. Nope. I'll give it one more try. If that doesn't work, I'll just do the stage normally. We don't want a game over here. But essentially, I'm trying to go an unintended path. There's not much you can do in this game that it wasn't intended. Alright. But that is one of them. So we're just gonna do this normally. I've lost a good chunk of time. That's okay. I had the lives. I'm well ahead of estimate. Why not try? So this is the path I typically like to go. Pretty simple. There's another extra life. You might need it coming up. Coming up, you might have seen the spike pit above my head for a brief moment. That is a very dangerous pit. Because this game loves eating your input right about here. As it tried to do there. And if you don't get that input and you fall into that spike pit, you're dead. You're back to the start of the stage. Nothing you can do. It sucks. Because you're at the end of the stage. You don't want that. But on to the final boss, which, truth be told, is a pretty simple boss. While you can die on it, the danger level's pretty low. I'll try and point out why once I get there. First, I have a Tower of Springs. Good, got that clip. Saves me from using another spring. So we're going to be fighting Silver Sonic. We need 8 hits. Now, when he is in ball form, if you jump into him or roll into him, you will not die. You'll probably see me do that at some point by accident. There is RNG in this boss as to what ability he does. We don't want him doing those. We want him standing as much as possible. And there he goes, meaning time is coming up. Right there. So not too bad of a run, honestly. Couple deaths. Most of it in Scrambled Egg 2. I won't complain about that. But that is 8-bit Sonic 2 for the Sega Master System. I know a lot of people don't look at this and go, this is a game I want to play or speedrun. Honestly, I find it very fun. I do recommend doing this version, the Master System version, and not the Game Gear version. I enjoy Game Gear. I don't recommend learning the game on the Game Gear. Maybe later on. As mentioned, it's available. You might have it on Wii VC. I know someone in chat mentioned there's ways of getting it. You can play it on the Master System, play it on the Genesis. I'm not sure where else it's available off the top of my head. 3DS has the Game Gear version. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy this much more than the 16-bit Sonics. That's all I've got, though. So with that, you're not done with me. You are far from done with Sonic for the day. Coming up next, we have got another 8-bit. We have Sonic Chaos, but this time I will be playing the Game Gear version. So hope y'all enjoyed this, and stay tuned for that.